What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and Dope Living TV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man, Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy, Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let me start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Hey, man, a couple of weeks back, we were honored to support and to celebrate a host of artists who write books, who don't normally get the celebrations that they deserve via the Distinguished Authors Guild. It was a great show. I think Gina has some links that she's sending out to people that didn't get a chance to be there, that can see the show and see everything that happened, see how happy everyone was. It was a good thing. All right, Gina, talk about it.
Oh my goodness. Yes, the virtual show went out. So, every year we have the live show and then we have the virtual show. Usually 3 to 7 days later.
Hey, but we had a challenge this time. All right. We had a challenge. Right.
Hey, Momo.
Yeah. What's happening, family?
But it was worth the wait. I can say that. It was worth the wait. And we got a lot of positive feedback, not just from the authors, but everyone that watched the show gave positive feedback. And they were just so excited to see authors being honored for what they do, and the smiles and it was just a night of celebration. If you were in a bad mood and you came out, you were leaving in a good mood. Definitely.
It was fun.
It was just, it was so much networking and connecting and loving on people and, encouraging people, motivating people. It was just an awesome time. And that's what Distinguished Authors Guild is all about. It's building a community. It's about networking, being able to reach out to the group when you need something and know that you can get what you need from somebody that's reliable. And it's not, you're not going to step into a situation where somebody's trying to run off with your money. And so it's just a network that's growing and growing and growing. I don't know. We probably have well over maybe 300 authors that's been involved in Distinguished Authors Guild.
And I think it's a necessary thing that you're doing, because again, these authors don't get the recognition that they deserve. We got everybody like the Wayne Grays and the Jacqueline, whatever the hell her name is, and those people are out there and they're being pushed a different way, okay? And they're being pushed out to all of these actors and actresses and blah, 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 okay? These people don't get the opportunity or the avenues to go there. So we, as Dope Living TV Live, and we're going to connect them with a lot of people. Why? Because we now are Chicago chapter, of course, but it's the National Black Radio Hall of Fame. We are, our names are in there. You can't erase this, okay? So shout out to my team, of course, okay? But shout out to everybody who nominated and put us in there. So, so with this, we're charged to help. Okay, we're charged to get other people to do this, and that's what we're doing tonight, man. These ladies that are on tonight, they're authors, but they have the title now of award-winning authors. Gina, let's bring them on.
Yes. Let's start off with we all know, our very own Natalie Murphy. Everyone knows Nat, and her book is To Be Loved by
Who's that?
Blue.
Y'all know who that is?
Four-time winner in the romance category. She got it on lock. Yeah, people scared to even submit their books in the romance category. She just scared everyone off.
That's hilarious.
Look into my eye. I had that in my mind. I said, you know what? Now they got it again.
I'm gonna steal a story from Penthouse and put it in a book, okay? And see.
You let me know how it works out for you.
Look, she said, good idea. I never thought of that one.
Oh no, not for Penthouse. Huh?
No. That could be kind of skanky.
Who's next, Gina?
We have Patricia Wallace with her very own Christopher's Time Out.
Hey, Patricia.
With an S.
Hello,
You gotta make sure you put that S on the end.
That's right. Plural. Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to see you again.
Yes. Next, we have Shayna. What I say?
We got Shane.
Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody.
Shayna Jennings and her. I love her book.
It's Jenkins.
Thank you.
Jenkins. You said Jennings.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jenkins.
That's okay.
I'm trying to get the name
you know.
out because every time I see the name of her book, I think of every woman out here. Every woman out here is the prettiest woman.
Yeah.
So that book really touches
I saw one
people.
today. She wasn't too pretty.
Stop.
You don't know what she's been through, Greg. You don't know.
That's right.
Looked like she went through a hurricane and a car crash. I mean, she wasn't.
Oh my God! Stop it. She still has
the inside that
in
counts,
her.
Greg. It's the
That's
inside
right.
that
She still has pretty in her. Well, let's bring on another pretty woman. We have Tamika Strickland with Identity Deception from Wounds to Worship.
Mika.
Blessings, everyone.
Hey.
Blessings to you, Queen. And then last but definitely not least, Dr. Linda Holloway with Little Miss Linda Copes with Divorce and Little Miss Linda Bad Girls of Montgomery.
Good evening, everyone.
These are a few of our Distinguished Authors Guild 2024 award winners.
Let's give them a hand. Let's give them a round of applause.
That's right.
For real.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask the first question, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. But I got to ask the first question.
I won't ask a question. I'm just saying, but this wasn't easy. This was a journey, all right? And basically what we do here on DopelivenTV Live, we celebrate the journey. People need to know what you guys have gone through in order to get to where you're at right now. You are award-winning authors. I'm not going to ask a question. Go ahead, Gina. You're up.
I want to ask everybody, and this is for everybody, all of you. How do you feel now?
For me, I'll speak first. For me, it's surreal because this is my fourth one. And not only did I win this year again, but this year, two of the ladies, Patricia and Shayna, who attended my From Pen to Published writing workshop, also won. So this is like a total high for me.
What about you, Dr. Holloway?
It's a super exciting time. But one of the things I always like to tell people is the award doesn't make the book makes the award. And what I mean by that is just because you've gotten the award, then you have to still push yourself and get yourself out there into the community and at large. So that,
yes.
Because just spinning on it's a wonderful, great feeling. But then after the curtains are drawn, then what do you do next? And so it's be able to, put your work out there and tell people that not only am I an award-winning author, but I'm a multi-award.
There you go. She said it best. And you, Tamika?
I'm grateful for this opportunity. This is my second time, actually. And it's just surreal for me. disappointment was last year. This year, it was my time and God's time, and I'm grateful.
All right.
There you go.
Amen.
Shayna Jenkins.
So I'm going to agree with the masses and say it definitely feels surreal. When I won, like I wasn't really expecting to win. Like I wasn't expecting to not win, but it was like, oh my God, like I actually won. I had to go back into the archives. Like, have I ever won anything before? And so I feel like other than like a grammar school science fair or something, like this is my first time actually winning something for me. And so it just kind of, it motivated me a lot. I don't usually put myself out there in environments where we have to win or like where there is something that you get for us. I just kind of got to the background, do my little thing or whatever. And I think this was God's way of saying, like, and my sister told me, she was like, you belong in the front. So stop going to the back, stop shying away. Like, it's time to put yourself out there. So I think for me, like, this just kind of validated and confirmed that.
Great job, sis. Great job. And what about you, Patricia?
I'm also in agreement with everyone who said the whole surreal factor. It was a wow moment because this time last year I was wrapping it up and I wasn't thinking about going for awards or anything. I was just thinking about getting the story down, getting it written and put out there, not even thinking beyond like how much that could grow until Natalie nudged me, after the workshop. And then she's like, okay, you need to, get involved with the Distinguished Authors Guild. And, I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean? I just got, my foot in the water, and she just kind of nudged me again. And I thought, well, what have I got to lose? And so just the whole, like, once you take that one step, then it just goes further and further than you could ever imagine or think. So it's just been a wow, surreal moment as well, just unbelievable.
Well, you know what? I don't know if everybody knows, but Natalie is not the only one who has books have won time after time. We got Dr. Holloway who has 5 children books who have won.
Wow. That's awesome. Awesome. Congrats.
I mean, Miss Linda is she doing her thing out there. Miss Linda is really doing her thing.
So my thing is this, it was a great occasion, and when you got a chance to sit around with people, what's up, Chris? Get around, sit around with your peers, talk, discuss, and you sat in there. There were some people that did not win, that truly were expected. But my question is, how do you keep this momentum? How do you keep this up? Because the award is one thing. And Natalie, I want you to talk about it first. You won 5. How do you keep it up, the momentum, right? Because you got to keep this out there, because now your title changes from just an author to award-winning author. All right, how do you sustain that?
It is a feat, but I love to write. I love writing the stories, so that's my motivation. It's like, especially now that I've started doing series. So I've got this book done. Now I got to get the next one done so I can complete the series, because I don't want to lose my readers. But it's definitely a challenge to keep going, to keep motivated. And the other part of it is I love doing vision boards. So I do vision boards and I have my goals, and that reminds me to keep moving.
Anybody else
vision boards too.
can ask that question as well, because I'm just curious. I know that, and I always gotta go back and even look at Dope Living, as well as some of the experiences I had before Dope Living. We reached this, so we think it's a pinnacle, but it's a small pinnacle, and there's more to come. I want to know what you guys, number one, plan on doing to get past this pinnacle. This is just step one. Winning an award. The book is done. It's just step one. What'd you say, Mo?
Getting past that plateau. Plateauing again.
I know for me, I just kind of pause for a minute. I do resonate. I do celebrate. I do appreciate. But I look at it, talked about it before, in terms of DA.G. So I feel like I'm representing DA.G. So from that perspective, I feel like I need to do something different. So one of the things that I do is I turn most of my workshops So I'll do a workshop around it. I go into school, so I don't just let it die there. So I continue to create in different formats and to get it out into the public. But I've gotten the award, but then what? So how do you move forward?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's
I
the
think I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go right ahead, Shay.
So I think for me, it's just a matter of keep going. Normally, I'm the type of girl, like after I accomplish something, it's like, okay, like I can rest because God said rest. And God, like, you done enough resting. Like, keep moving, what's next. I appreciate being able to meet the authors in person because it kind of gives you some accountability, like you stay connected, what you're doing today, like you see their posts. And so, it kind of, you build the momentum by making sure that you stay connected with the people that you went through the journey with. And then, of course, I partner with Dr. Carolyn Stevens, who's a winner, but she also does so much more. And so we meet and we have a meeting where she's kind of helping me. She's my personal accountability partner. And what are we doing next? And start writing a vision and make it plain. And, we pray and things like that. So God is definitely like, this is not the season to rest. So that momentum doesn't die. So you got to just stay in it.
I agree with that. I think we need to ride the wave. You know what I mean? That's how I see it, and build on it. And for me, that's I'm working on the next one, because when I wrote Christopher's Timeouts, I didn't think anything about another book, or would it be about Christopher? But I keep getting the question, well, you've got to keep it going. What is he going to do next? So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on that, and getting, because it's a book that I'm targeting the educational arena for, that I'm reaching out to, like the connections that I have from the days when I was a sub at my kids' school. And I have a lot of educators in my family, and just, hey, if you could, I wanted to be in the classrooms and in the personal libraries of children and the public libraries. So those are the things that I'm doing to build on, and just keep it going, just to make that niche for myself and what I'm trying to accomplish.
The gratitude is knowing that, like, just say if you didn't win this particular time, like I didn't win last year, but through Dr. Carolyn and Gina, they were like, Tamika, don't give up. And I continued, but it was a struggle in the beginning. But knowing that this book that God birthed out is 5 years old. And when I met Dr. Carolyn last year, she was like, Queen, you need to put your book in to Distinguished Authors Guild. And I did. Now, this year, it was my season. This year was my promotion that God gave me, right? Understanding that what's next is that next book. When I tell you I'm connected to 4 co-author collaborations. So this is the 5th book, and each chapter that I wrote was another level of my testimony, the things that God has done through me to show others that they can come out of a lifestyle of lesbianism after 30 years and be proud in what God has done for me. Not be afraid what anyone think or have to say about it, but what he has done for me. And there are others that he will use me to help, and that book that I started writing on. But the next level is about restoration. Because look, when you start out with abuse, abandonment, rejection, and then the things that I went through, right? Now that was accomplished in the first book, now what? Make like you said, the motivation to keep going, to like speaking at the church Saturday about gratitude. He's using me more because I was that one that really wanted to be in the background. Scary Mary really wanted to be in the background, but today I stand here with a new confidence in who I am in him. I give him all the glory no matter what. I thank God for the opportunity to keep going forth with the confidence. We were just talking about courage, having that strong courage, even though sometimes you know you may feel a little shaky, but you keep going forth, Gina. I thank God for you guys. I thank God for you, Greg, and just Dope Living TV. Just to I have a renewed sense of purpose. As it chokes me up, but it's like a renewed sense of purpose to go out into the unknown and be grateful about it.
You know, the thing, the best thing in the whole wide world that I love about DAG is that, you know, we get a chance to do what we're supposed to do while we're on this planet, and that's help each other out. You know,
Exactly.
that networking part is for real, and you know, each one of y'all testified to it. Everybody from Sister Nat over there, all the way to Hankins, everybody, you know, hooking up and doing what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? As oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I see it, Greg. But everybody doing what they're supposed to do, and led by our sister Gina there. You know, she's doing what she's supposed to do, you know, on this planet. You know, that's all a part of God's plan, y'all. Y'all just don't not recognize that part right there. That part right there, being a part, you know, being a part of God's plan and God's people. That
So
right
Mo,
there.
I wanna interject real quick, man, because seeing Gina, what you brought together, all right, and knowing what happened, I want you, Mo, and Chris to speak on this. What do these ladies need to do next, in your opinion, Gina?
Oh, they have to keep pushing those books. They have to continue to stay in front of different audiences. And I always tell authors, you have to keep reinventing your book. I know authors that have one book, they've only written one book, and that person's name is still out there. One person I can identify with is author Tony Bunyan. He won in 2021, and his name is still ringing. He sold 1,000 books to his fraternity. He sold books in his school system, and he's mentoring. And you just have to continue to reinvent your book. Some people, you know, let's take the characters out. Now we can, you know, merchandise the characters, T-shirts. I think I talked about the romance books. Hey, you know, those characters, maybe you can create the jewelry that they wear or the clothing that they wear, and that can be merchandise. It's so many things. Even if you do something like what's those escape room type of things with your book. It's so many things out there that you can do, but you can't just stop here. You have to keep going.
And let me say something about Tony, okay? Tony also came on Dope Living TV Live and won $50, okay?
You sure did. I forgot about that.
$50 with a rap, okay? Mo, what's your take on that? On what these ladies need to do?
I'm gonna tell you, the show, and then turning around and showing the show, you know, on YouTube, giving people a chance to look at it on YouTube, probably motivated a lot of folks on this panel, including my wife. She done already started writing the book, so I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So y'all might, if she ends up on stage, I'm just gonna give y'all the fist. We got the power. We got the power.
Chris.
I mean, from what I'm seeing and what I know about marketing, pretty much what Gina just said, you have to take the characters that people already see, already know, and enhance them in different ways. Like it can become an animated series, it can become a TV series, it can become a skit series, it can become all of that. You know what I'm saying? It becomes merch, T-shirts, and all of that. I mean, you find out which character of your book that everybody is drawn to, and then you build off of that. You know what I'm saying? One of the big things that's happening now is I don't know how many people know about Country Wayne, the comedian, but he took that whole persona and made a whole YouTube storyline off of it.
I follow
off
that.
of it. That's given a couple people from Gary, Indiana, roles on his show. You see what I'm saying? Like Mimi, she's from Gary. The guy that played the Jamaican, the Jamaican, what was that? That was repoing the car. He's from Gary. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like it's a lot of stuff that you can do that can enhance your book. You know, you can do the audio versions. You can do. It's a lot of stuff that can be done. So I mean, it doesn't have to just begin and end with the book. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to bleed everything out until it's gone,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
then present them with the next chapter, which is another book
Right.
or part 2 of the book or whatever that is.
And
I agree.
interject with my little advice. Okay, you gotta continue. You know, be consistent with your message as well. All right, your message is in your book. Make sure that you are consistent with it. All right, when you're talking about it, and you can do reels, maybe a reading, a passage. Rachel Gary, she does it all the time. Okay, do a passage, put it on a reel, and put it out there. Okay, social media is huge if you know how to use it. All right, and I was talking earlier before the show started with Shayna, talking about and help me out, minister, doctor, anybody if I'm wrong. It's in James. Okay, faith without works is dead. All right.
Right.
We sit here and we wait. We say, well, I'm waiting on this to happen. I'm waiting on that to happen. I'm waiting. What are you waiting for? Because if you wait, it's never going to come to you. You're waiting. You know, you pray. God has already heard you. Make your relationship with God your relationship with God. Don't depend on everybody else to pray for you. You know, that's great. That's a push, but God has his own time. All right. When you pray to God, you pray for that relationship with God and make your relationship with God strong so that he can give you that strength, so that the faith that you have in your product, you put the work behind it. You get what I'm saying? You can't do this stuff without work. It's not going to come to you. Period. You guys have done a fantastic first step. Now let's make these second
Well,
steps, these third steps.
I want to talk to, excuse me, 2 individuals on here that are doing exactly that. And that's Natalie and that's Dr. Holloway. We're going to start with Natalie because Natalie started with that one book that she was scared to get out there and talk about. And now we're going to talk about what you're doing now, Natalie.
She got a big mouth. That's what she got going on.
Excuse you. So what I'm doing now is I've started a workshop, the From Pen to Published workshop, and it walks writers through the step-by-step process of transforming their manuscript into a published book. Because when I started doing this, I had no help, no clue on how to do this. So now that I won't say perfected it, but now that I've done it so many times, I've decided to put it in a workshop for somebody else who doesn't know the next step, because a lot of people don't know the next step. So that's where my workshop comes in, and that is one of my big motivators. Greg, you asked about what keeps me motivated. That's one of my big motivators, because I want people to get those books, those manuscripts off the shelf and get them out there, because somebody is waiting to read their book.
Wow.
I've encountered so many people who say, oh, I've been writing a story for 3 years. I've been writing this for 10 years. My book is done. I just don't know what to do. And so that's what my workshop is about. It's about taking them to that next step, to that next level, so that they can get out there. And when they go through the workshop, I'm constantly pushing Distinguished Authors Guild. Get out there to the Distinguished Authors Guild. That's going to help you get that book out there. And Gina's another big motivator, because she has such great ideas on what to do next with the book.
That's great, Natalie. Dr. Holloway?
Many of the things you all talk about, doing those, but I guess one resonate.
There's some issues with
Your
your
audio.
mic, Dr. Holloway. We're hearing every other word for some reason. You want to log off and come back on?
Okay.
They're asking
once
how
she
they
comes back on, we can.
Yeah, I got a quick question for the authors that's on here. it's pretty much the writing is like music nowadays. So how do y'all feel about these people that's going to AI to write their books for them now? And you went through the whole process of writing your own book, and now they have an easier way of getting a book written. How do you feel about that?
You see all them heads go left to right, dude?
I saw it.
I address that in my workshop because AI is a tool. It is
Yeah.
not to do the work for you. I would never put an entire book out with my name on it if I didn't write it. That's disingenuous. So I'm not for that. Like I say, I use it as a tool. If I get stuck, this paragraph is not quite sounding right, I needed to rework it. And I still may not use the whole paragraph rephrasing that AI puts out there. But yeah,
Right.
just the whole book, no.
Yeah, I think the words coming from a human is what makes it authentic and what makes it connect with people. And so just something, just technology wise, it's not right. You know what I mean? I don't think it's authentic at all.
Authenticity is definitely the word I was thinking of. I think it takes away from being able to say, like, God wrote the book. Like, if I could sit here and say, like, God gave me a vision, he gave me the creation, and all I have to do is put it on paper. But then in reality, like, I'm going to AI to, like, create everything for me. I'm like, it just takes away from saying God did it, and I think that's a whole different conversation, considering the way the world is going. But, I'm not going to say, like, I've never used it, but like Natalie said, for little bits and pieces of things, or just to kind of, rephrase something. But God wrote my book, not AI.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Linda, you're back. I hope your audio is a little bit better.
Okay, can you all hear me?
Oh, yes.
Much better. Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. What I was saying was a lot of the things that has already been said about things that you should be doing, currently doing many of those things. But the one thing that really resonates with me is having that one single message, because repetitive or people hearing the same thing over and again, it really resonate with people. So when they know, okay, that's little Miss Linda, she's doing something. And so I would say that's one thing that I try to do. And then I don't accept no for an answer. Like when I wrote Bad Girls, I'm not with a big publishing company, so I wanted to put it in the legacy. Things around Montgomery, Alabama, I got a lot of no's, but I kept knocking on people's doors. So just getting it out. And always remember there's no lane that is too small. You know how, for the most part, a lot of people want to reach the mass people. But sometimes it's just like, kind of like when you're selling something in a small community, it just kind of grows because people begin to talk. So I would say every platform you possibly can. I like to do workshops. I'm a counselor educator, so I use my state conference to do that. And I actually have taken all of my books and turned them into workshops for educators, social workers. So anytime there's opportunity for someone to allow me to speak, I have to go beyond the fact of that I'm bragging. But if someone if anybody's gonna toot your horn, if you're waiting on somebody else to toot your horn, you might be waiting a long. And it was something I thought about it. I said, when I'm driving, the horn is not on the passenger side. But oftentimes we as Black people, we want other people to toot our horn. But the horn is on your side for your own horn. And it's not about bragging, it's just you simply talking about your blessing. So being able to know that, also being okay with that friends and family may not buy your book. That was not their assignment to buy
Thank you.
your book. They might come around
Share that.
like, okay, there you go again. Well, how many Miss Linda books are you gonna write? Gonna graduate from college, or when you gonna do something different? So I don't get discouraged by that because I know what my assignment is, and they were never part of my particular things. And also, a lot of times, because we feel like that's not in my blood, or I don't have them. But guess what? We'll buy that purse, we'll buy those shoes, we'll go out. So I would say make sure you invest in yourself. Invest in a good illustrator, invest in a good book. Because oftentimes people will say, okay, don't worry about those things. That doesn't make the book. But I guarantee you it's an attention gap. If in a room of 1,000 books, what is going to set your book apart? I
Come
guarantee
on.
if it has something unique about it on the cover, a child, a mother, or someone is gonna actually grab that book. And so I would just say continue to do those things, continue to perfect them, and be okay with collaborating with other people and seeing what they are doing. So that
Those are good
You know,
words. Those are really good words. Go ahead, Mo.
I just know without a doubt that the Lord wants you to shine. I mean, you want people to know how good the Lord has been with you, and this is a blessing. So you want everybody to see your blessings. You know, everybody that knows you. If you got an award for something, or if you're doing something, you want the Lord to actually, without a doubt, you want them to know that the Lord did that for you. You know, that's the thing about anything that you're blessed with. You know.
I want to just say,
No, go ahead, Tamika.
one thing that came to me is that I know it
Folks,
might sound weird, but a drug dealer can push their drugs out, right?
All right, go ahead. I hear you.
So I said to myself, now if they can push a product out to people, and that's because they believe in their product, right?
All right. Go on with
Always
that metaphor.
push your product out. Your product. Thank you.
Yeah. Tamika, you want to say something?
It's just so much that's been said that I'm just like, it's just resonating with my spirit. And I know that God is just, He's in each and every one of our lives, and He uses each and every one of our lives individually. And whatever it is that He has for you in purpose, as long as you have the faith to believe and know and like just trust Him without all that negativity, it's like you will go forth and continually go forth, even when you fall down. It's uncomfortable when you fall down, but you get back up and you just keep pressing. Just keep pressing. I'm just in awe of God. He's just so awesome. I love him.
Gotta be all the time. And
I have a question though. I'm sorry, huh? Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, Linda said something, about the people, your immediate people, the people that are around you all the time. They're not gonna buy a damn thing, all right? They gonna say, yeah, that's a good book, yeah, blah 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 blah. But they ain't gonna buy nothing, okay? They really aren't, okay? You get a couple of them that will. You got to step outside of that box, okay? That box, it opens, all right? But a lot of people are afraid to open that box. And once you open that box, you're gonna see a whole lot of different stuff going on out there, all right? And you're gonna want to take the stuff that's good for you and manifest it. Let it grow. Let it go inside of you. Okay. You're gonna say something, Gene. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm working with someone right now that's writing a book, and one of the things I'm trying to get across is that when you step out to write that book, it's not going to be a book in the beginning. And I know, Shana, you probably can relate to that and give some feedback on getting out here. What would you say to someone that's new to writing, trying to get out here and write a book? What advice would you give to them?
The same thing. If I said it once, I'm gonna say it 100 times. Don't wait on it to be perfect. Just start writing it, and the more you write, the more you are walking in obedience to what you know you're supposed to be doing. Everything will begin to fall in place. And so, if you keep on, waiting on it to be perfect, or you keep reading it over, and Natalie talks about it all the time. That imposter syndrome. You'll start, second guessing yourself, and then next thing you know, like a year done went by, and 2 years, and 3 years. So. I think just put it out there, get it out there. Don't wait on it to be perfect, but once you put it out there, like God will perfect it. That, like I said, I always talk about that's the reason. That's how I ended up with 2 books. The first one was done out of obedience. Like God was like, "This is your time to do it. Put it out there. Collect your stories, put it together, and put it out there." And then He gave me the funds to actually invest in it and change the cover and hire somebody to, to not to say perfect it, but to perfect it, to make it, better. So stop waiting on perfection. It's never going to happen. You're going to be in your head doing it over and over and over again. Then it'll be 10 years that went by and you still haven't done it.
You just stop waiting. Period. You know, I can't do that. Just stop waiting. What the hell are we waiting for? Excuse my language, Minister Tamika Strickland. All right, but what the hell are we waiting on, man?
Thank you.
I don't get it. You were gonna say something more? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying you catch that fever like Nat down there. You know, then you mess around. 2 years later,
That's the
she got an arm full of awards talking about some. See, I told y'all.
She up on stage glistening like Michael Jackson when he had all of them awards.
Hey, we was all glistening.
Wow.
Y'all had the gold in us then with it.
Oh my God.
Bring them next year.
I want to talk about something else too, because
we got 20 minutes. Go ahead.
Patricia.
Yes.
Have you guys seen Patricia's book in person? The first time I saw that book, I was so impressed with Christopher's timeouts, because I knew when I looked at her book, Patricia put money into that book. Patricia, I know you put money into that book. Talk about investing in your book.
It's one of the most important things you can do, because that's your representation. It's your project, it's your baby, and you only want the best for your baby, so you do what you need to do. So not only with the investment monetarily, but the time to get it right. You know, like Shana was saying, do it, and then you keep on doing it until it's right. But just making sure that it's a certain way, you know what I mean? And that means the details. The details are very, very important. Like how I have the colors, the different colors, and the shape of the letters. You know, they had to be playful, and the doors, the bright colors, because I know that, you know, that has to catch the eye. And you have to start somewhere. You know, the title might not do it, but people are visual, so they see that. So yes, you put the investment in where you can see where it will pay off in the best way. And for me, I just knew that because, again, going back to my days as a substitute teacher, I know the different books that were in the teachers' libraries that the kids were drawn to. It was always the cover, you know, something about the characters on the front that made them want to open it, you know. And so I understood that, and I took it with me. And when it was time for me to do my own, that was very important. That was very, very important. And so I had to be very specific and very strategic with how I did that.
You know what? You guys are encouraging. You guys are very encouraging. I'm gonna write a book, and I'm gonna call it Book.
I can't with him. I can't.
That's catchy. It's pretty catchy. Book.
Look, I want to give you all an opportunity to talk about your book. So let's go around the room. Tell everybody about the book that won the award for you. Let everybody know how they can get it and all of that. Okay, let's start with you, Dr. Holloway.
Okay, the book that won the award, can you say? Bad Girls of Montgomery and the divorce book. Bad Girls of Montgomery is really about a little girl who takes a trip. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I said hold it back up. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's about a little girl who takes a trip from Mount Bayou, Mississippi, and she goes to Montgomery, Alabama. And this is just not any ordinary trip. The teachers wanted them to write about something. So she wrote about the different women that participated in the Montgomery Sparkot movement. So that's the nut of that book. Little Miss Linda talked about divorce. Little Miss Linda noticed that her parents were not doing things together. They separated, so she was able to create a "I love you" jar. So they thought it might have been her fault, and they just talked to her about divorce and what that was going to look like. Thank you.
Nice.
And where can you get it?
Okay, I'm sorry. You can get it on Amazon.
Amazon.
We need to bring Little Miss Linda on the relationship show.
Okay.
Okay.
You might not get no traction on it after our relationship shows lately. You might not get no traction on it. Okay.
Hey, God's working on us.
I'm just saying. And anybody that knows how relationship shows, if you follow that relationship, you get divorced. You losing your money. I don't care what you say. It's over.
If you're writing a book like Little Miss Linda.
Yeah, I'm gonna write book. Anyway, what about you, Tanika?
My book is called Identity Deception: From Wounds to Worship. The Raw Life Story of Evangelist Tamika Strickland.
Okay.
My wounds was the molestation that I went through at an early age. And from that point forward, dealing with abandonment, rejection, anger, depression, everything that goes with being touched and someone taking your innocence away, and the blocks that I built up, the fears. But the older I was, I started hiding the very essence of who I was, to the point where I began to dress as a man. And from that point, God cleaned me up. And then I got saved. And then he turned my life upside down. He put that spotlight over me. And I didn't understand what was going on, especially after dressing as a stud for as many years as I did. My appetite began to change. And I just didn't desire the things that I did before. So my wounds, when I met Christ, became my worship. It's a book that will talk about prayer, the different things that I went through to go from one level to another. And it's something that it may not be for everyone, and that's fine. But the ones that do identify with this book, with the abandonment and rejection, it's for you. This book is available Amazon.com. You can email me and I can send it out to you with my John Hancock. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
That's beautiful, man. We got, it's just so many different stories to tell, and they're not done yet, okay? Shayna, what you got, girl?
Hey, so my book is called The Prettiest Woman. The Prettiest Woman these are my personal stories, my hardships, my trials that I went through that really launched me into a season of, finding out who I am. I talk about things like, so I always mention like one of the darkest seasons of my life. So I went through a season where I didn't have a job, my car was repossessed, and although I wasn't homeless, like my life was about to be off, like I owned a home, but I didn't have anything. And so that was when God really was like removing things from my life to get me to where I am now. So it was in that season that I began to like write and journal and comprise like all my old blogs and just begin to tell my story. And in it, it was like, it was when I really found out, or when I really understood that, I am valuable. I did make it through. I talk about, a little bit about the relationship of my kid's dad. And I don't go into the ugly details. I talk about the things that were positive about it. How I found, how my relationship with Christ was strengthened, like what scriptures got me through those moments. And I ended up realizing that, even though people say, well, you need to get him back, or you should have did this, or you should have retaliated this way, God never called me to retaliate. That's how I became the prettiest woman. That's why I talk about the beauty starts within. So when I look back and I realized like I didn't have to retaliate, I fought back, but I fought in worship or in prayer. That's when I was like, dang, I am pretty. And it's not because, the things that broke me made me change my hair or go change the way I looked on the outside. It was really being intentional about who I was on the inside so that I could tell my story, so I can inspire my daughter, young girls, and just women overall. And so I was really appreciative when I won the award and they put it in the young adults category, because I also am in the process of launching a youth ministry for young girls. And I was like, it just kind of confirmed that this is something that will inspire young girls too. I can talk to older women about it, but sometimes older women or older people in general are set in their ways. Sometimes my hope or, my encouragement could be very youthful to where it comes off as naive. And so that kind of affirmed to me, like, no, it's not naive. Like, people need this, women need it, young girls need it. So it can be found on Barnes and Noble, but you can also Zelle me, PayPal me, because I would love for the money to come directly to me, and I can sign a personalized copy.
I see. Nice. There's ways that we at Dope Living can make stuff like this happen, all right? So
yeah.
I'm saying, man.
We friends for life, y'all.
Yeah, man. Patricia.
Yes.
Your turn, man. Your turn.
Oh, well, you know what? The book's not coming. Well, you can see the background. How about that? It's the background. So the name of my book is Christopher's Timeout. And it's based on my oldest son and his antics when he was in kindergarten. And he was determined to be the class clown to the point where he was always getting in timeouts, plural, many, many timeouts. And so it just goes through the journey of how he learned that the good sense that he was born with is what he needs to use, especially in the classroom at school when that's not the time to clown around. So my point was to teach a lesson about appropriate classroom behavior, but in a way that is lighthearted and funny, because a lot of the things that I took away from when I was a sub and just with my own was just the silliness that they could get involved in as they're growing and learning. So I wanted to come from that angle to share, a lesson that the kids could relate to, that they can understand. And then also I'm being told that parents are really interested as well, because they can see, the frustration of his parents in the story, and it's something that they can relate to. And also a sense of, okay, this is not the end of the world. This too shall pass, in a way that sometimes when you're knee deep in it, these things keep happening and you're like, okay, when are you going to get it? When are you going to grow up and, do what you need to do? Well, when they grow up, but it's a process. So that's what the book is about. And it can be purchased at store.bookbaby.com/profile/Pat Wallace.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting book. Last but not least, my friend. Okay, I clown her a lot. I want everybody to understand this. Okay, I love Natalie Murphy. All right, I love Natalie Murphy. I clown her a lot because I do love her like that. All right, she is a fantastic author.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed and so proud to know you. Okay, tell us about yours. All of them. Damn.
We don't have time for all of them. We'll go with the one that won.
Got a million.
My books are not as intense or deep or child friendly. My books are romance novels.
I can't look at a mommy. I can't read a mommy.
No, if you like a good steamy read, To Be Loved by Blue is definitely that. Toni Antoinette Kennedy does not like cops. She's done with love. She has decided to use her body the way she chooses to use her body, which means she's fallen into promiscuity to avoid love until she meets Officer Darius Johnson. Officer Darius Johnson is everything she despises, but he has these corny pickup lines that intrigue her and she can't seem to resist. Toni goes through family drama, heartache. Darius is there for her, but then when she finally decides to tell him her feelings and succumb to the love that she feels for him, he disappears on an investigation.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can get that book to find out what happens at netsbooks.net.
See, that's what happened when y'all pray up the dude. Y'all pray, oh Lord, send me somebody. Lord, send me somebody. And he show up and he show up and y'all like, this Negro for real, Lord?
Stop it, Mom.
That's the one. That's the one right there. That's the one. See, yeah, when you pick it in up or down, he gonna be right there with you. You see, that's what you asked for. That's what you got. I love you. I love you, Natalie.
I appreciate it, Walt.
Awesome. I'm telling you, these books are books that when you pick them up, you do not want to put them down. They are that great. What are you doing?
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What are you doing? I don't know what's happening right now. Did you go to sleep? What?
So
this is live TV, y'all.
I had technical difficulties over here. I'm sorry.
That's what happened when he's trying to sneeze on the down low.
Right. He just sneezed himself out of his.
I got people messing with stuff. I apologize. All right.
Blow your brains out.
I heard what you said now. Look, I want my people though, because we got to get out of here. All right. First of all, thank you guys for coming to the show, hanging out with us. It's never enough time to talk to you guys, but we're going to talk because we want to help you guys. want to make sure that we get the word out that you guys are, number one, award-winning authors. Number two, we want to use every resource that we have to make sure that this continues. You know what I mean? The momentum continues. So we're here. All right. You can reach out to us and ask us. All right. Chris, if you're still there, man, you got some final last words?
Yeah, I mean, basically what I want to say is one, congratulations to everyone that's on the panel today that won at Distinguished Authors Guild. And just for the people out there that's listening, you can use what they have done to help you in your situation. You don't have to release it, but write it down, and you never know. You might go back and look at it later, and it might become something and inspire you to do something that needs to be done to help you in your life. So that, and then when it comes to people supporting you, like we always know, people of our kind, outsiders are going to support you before insiders support you. That's just how we operate. It's terrible that I have to say that, but that's how we operate sometimes. And the last thing that I want to say, yeah, and the last thing I want to say is that when it comes to marketing in general, every time you think about marketing, just thinking about going to a restaurant and a table. Everything that's on the table that they sit you at has something to do marketing wise of what you need. So when you think about doing something, just know the table that's sitting there, the salt shaker that's sitting there, the coaster, the glass, the ice in the glass, the juice, all of that means something. So it's so many ways that you can market your material. You just have to dig deep into yourself and to research and marketing to get it out there even more. Because just because you wrote the book don't mean that's the final straw of the book.
Absolutely, bro.
Totally.
Well, good.
Man, so true, so true. You know, I play with everybody every once in a while for things, but to be real, this network thing is a blessing. Use it, use it, use it. Fortunately, our sister has set up something that's a beautiful thing, and it allows the artists to do what they do. Take full advantage of it. And we got, our our habitual award-winning person there on the right hand corner. She's doing her thing. And she done set up an outlet for folks to, if you want to do your thing, contact her. She'll take care of y'all. Blessings, all y'all. Y'all stay blessed in power, please.
Gina?
Oh, yes, definitely. Do not regress. This is your time. You are shining. Continue to let that light shine. Continue to move forward, promoting your books, writing new books. If you don't write a new book, reinvent that book. Reinvent it, because this is going to die down eventually. You're going to, you're not going to hear about Distinguished Authors Guild for 365 days out of the year. You're not going to hear it. And so it's up to you to take that light and keep that light shining in people's faces. Get on the platforms, continue to find ways to reinvent your book. There's so much marketing out there that you can do with those books and what you're doing. We have authors who have went on to write magazines. There's so much stuff. You guys just have to tap in to the creativity that you have. You have it. You've shown you have it. Don't let it die down. One other ask that I have from everyone, we have an author that is in one of the America's Favorite Photos. We're asking that everyone go on and vote for her. We are pushing for Rashana Gold to win this. She is a beautiful author. She has a lot of talent, and we are all behind her 150%. All of the authors in D.A.G have been voting for her every day. We're asking everyone that's listening to my voice to go on. The link is there. Go on and vote for her. It doesn't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost you anything. But all we want you to do is to support.
So here's what I want to say. Number one, you guys are so amazing. You're doing things that, people don't normally do. You're taking the time out of your lives to write a book to entertain us that don't write books, and that's rare. There's a lot of people that do it, but it is rare. The majority of people don't do it. So you guys are taking on the task of doing something that is going to take a lot of your time. But look at the rewards. Look what can happen from it. are award-winning authors, first of all. And number two, now you have an opportunity to change lives, to change people, to change the way people think. You have that opportunity now. You have an opportunity to put your thoughts, your dreams, your emotions in front of millions of people. All right. So, as Chris was saying, think about doing short stories. Think about doing audio books, as Mo was saying. Think about doing something, some little shorts, like I was telling you, doing little reels. Think about doing those things. Speaking engagements, all right? You guys are award-winning authors. Use this speaking engagement. You can reach out to people, and believe me, after a while, Chris will tell you, especially how I did my stuff. Once you and this is a moniker of dope living period. You take small steps and you leave huge footprints, which means once you walk into a room, nobody knows you, nobody knows who you are. But by the time you've navigated that room and circled the room and talked to everybody, by the time you leave, you can leave with your back, with your back facing everybody else. They're going to know who you are because your personality, everything that you said in that room, and your product will speak for itself. You never have to say anything else again. It will speak for itself. But you have to do the work. Don't wait on it to happen. Step ahead of it and do the work. All right. You guys are amazing to me. I appreciate you guys. Most definitely. Gina, what we got tomorrow?
We have the rest of the Distinguished Authors Guild winners. They will be on tomorrow. I think it's 6 of them tomorrow. But again, there's six authors that'll be here tomorrow. We get to hear their journey and how they receive the Distinguished Authors Guild and how they receive being award winners.
And let's support each one of these authors that came on tonight, because all we have to do, anybody who's watching, support them by liking their page, following them. Follow them. Just do that. That starts the trend. That starts the groundswell. So I'm encouraging everybody who's watching, follow each of these authors. And I agree with everything Gina said, but I disagree with one thing. The Distinguished Author Guild will be talked about more this year than ever before. Okay, so the 365 days you waiting on them to say something else, they're still talking about it now, and it's going to continue to be talked about. All right, it's a great thing that you've done, sis, and I'm down till I die. So it is what it is. All right, so tune in tomorrow. We got more of the Distinguished Author Guild winners. And if they don't come, if 3 or 4 of them don't come, ladies, come back. Seriously, we'll have you back on. It's no problem. We can do that. All right.
Okay. And congratulations to you all. I also want, before we leave, I have to say this. I definitely have to say this. I want to thank Dr. Holloway for contributing to the scholarships in the name of her late mother and father, Eugene and Willie Lou B. Holloway. I'm telling you, I'm still just so gracious that she donated for those 2 scholarships, and it came from the heart. And I'm telling you, I was in tears. I was truly in tears. It take a lot to put me in tears. And I want to thank you again, Dr. Holloway, for what you've done. You actually were able, 2 students are able to buy food or pay for books or put it towards their tuition, whatever they need to do to move forward. You and your late parents made it happen. So thank you again.
And I gotta also thank, Patricia Wallace. She donated. Chris,
everyone on here, all the authors, they have set it up where we have a good start for next year's scholarship. So all the authors came together. And when I say the community, when I say this is a community, they came together and they all donated towards the scholarship on their own. They decided to do this on their own. And so we can start off next year with at least 1 scholarship that we already have.
Watch the size.
Thank you guys as well.
Watch the size of the scholarship next year. Okay, it's gonna be huge. All right, we ain't playing no more. All locks are off. We're not playing anymore with the Distinguished Authors Guild. All right, we're all hands on, and we're gonna make it happen. All right. So thank you, ladies. Shayna, I want to say them individually. Shayna, thank you so much for coming on and the conversation before the show. Patricia, you know we love you always.
Thank
Natalie,
You
my
family.
sister,
She adopted
always.
us.
Thank you.
Minister Tamika, you have a fantastic story, and you know we got to talk, okay? Because there's a lot that can be done with your story. We got to talk, all right?
Amen.
Dr.
Okay.
Holloway, you are amazing, all right? We appreciate you. Chris, you already know, bro. Mo, you already know. Gina, fantastic job. This is Dope Living TV Live, man. We got to get out of here for real, but we'll be back tomorrow, all right? Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank these
Thank
artists,
y'all
these
for
artists.
having us.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Holla.